As it pertains to the myriad of streaming services available in today's world, as well as the overwhelming amount of content that accompany them, I feel like sometimes we overlook some of the pioneers in quality television. Despite the multitude of choices, somehow FX continues to be a masterclass in storytelling. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend. And if you're new here, check out the rest of the channel and let me know what you think. Alright, let's dive into Shogun. It's pretty impressive how a TV network continues to outshine much of its competition. There are some very respectable streaming services that frequently produce superb entertainment, but in the realm of network television, FX stands alone. The Americans, It's Always Sunny, Fargo, Atlanta, Justified, What We Do in the Shadows, Archer, The Bear, Under the Banner of Heaven, The Old Man, the list just goes on. And going into 2024, already swinging a hot bat, FX cracked one out of the park with Shogun, a miniseries following the clash of two ambitious men from very different walks of life, as it analyzes themes of love, duty, faith, and destiny. For me, this series will go down alongside Season 1 of True Detective as the closest examples of perfect television that I've ever seen. It's that damn good. Everything from the performances to the writing, from the set and costume designs to the cinematography, everything about this series is peak television. This narrative follows a trifecta of commingling storylines. And honestly, one of the most refreshing aspects of this series was the uniform quality of all three plot lines. I feel as though that one of the most prominent recurring issues with series that involve a multitude of principal storylines is that there always seems to be at least one thread that isn't as compelling or doesn't work for the overall diegesis. This isn't the case with Shogun though. All of these threads matter, and all of these threads are gripping. An English Protestant sailor, John Blackthorne, seeking to establish trade in Japan while attempting to disrupt Catholic, Portuguese, and Spanish influence over Japan's people in the process. Toda Mariko, one of Toranaga's most trusted allies and interpreters, the last of her disgraced bloodline, hoping to restore respect to her family name. Yoshi Toranaga, a powerful warlord and lord of the Kanto region, one of the 5 regions on the council assigned to rule on behalf of the late Teiko's son until he is of age. An outlier among the 5 regions, as he does not trust their intentions as rulers, especially those of Ishido. He sets out to unify the entire country under his governance as Shogun and end the constant warring and strive for an era of lasting peace. The journey that all 3 of these characters progress through are all crafted so well. Blackthorne begins the series as an arrogant, disrespectful, foreign invader, hell-bent on clashing with his Catholic enemies at any cost. Throughout the series, he grows to understand, respect, and embrace the Japanese culture and customs to the point where he ends the series as a completely changed man. After falling in love and losing Mariko, he realizes how much more to life there is than these constant bloody struggles towards power and influence. He accepts the Japanese lifestyle to the point where he vows to commit seppuku to end the bloodshed against the Edo villagers. We meet Mariko as she serves as Toranaga's right hand, aiding Blackthorne to become accustomed to his new life. A woman whose lineage has been dishonored by her father's past betrayals. She lives a somewhat miserable life, forced into a marriage without love, and she relies on her faith to keep her resilient. Realizing the only way to escape this life is to die with honor, and in turn, restore respect to her name. Ultimately, she sacrifices herself to save Blackthorne and turn tides against Ishido. Toranaga goes from being a lord respected for his skills in battle. He plans to accomplish his goal of becoming Shogun by implementing his grand infiltration of Osaka Castle, called Crimson Sky. However, he learns to be patient with his aspirations. Through his interactions with Blackthorn, he alters his outlook on not only his actions, but also his feelings towards his men. He learns to respect the people who serve him, ultimately scheming behind the scenes to acquire his title and not sacrifice those who have given him so much, and in turn understanding that the best way forward is to stop the war and bring peace to this nation. None of these storylines would come to fruition without the actors who portray them. Cosmo Jarvis as Blackthorn is phenomenal. I can't recall seeing him in anything before Shogun, and he is honestly a revelation. Anna Sawai, hot off her success in Monarch, is incredible as Mariko. And lastly, but certainly not least, Hiroyuki Sanada, whose work I've always enjoyed, and I'm so glad he's being cast in more high-profile projects because he definitely deserves it. He plays this role with such a distinguished and deadly reservation. He really is the linchpin of this series, serving also as producer. He stated his goal was to make this the most accurate production of Japanese culture from an American perspective, and based on how the Japanese market has reacted, I'd say he's succeeded. Speaking on that, this show is beautiful inside and out, from its visuals to its set pieces and aesthetic. Every episode, you're not just watching a show, you're immersed into Japan in the 1600s. Everything from the outfits, to the eloquent gardens, to the lively and sprawling Osaka, not to mention the score. You don't watch this series, you experience it. As it stands, Shogun is my favorite series of the year. I cannot express that enough. I appreciated everything about this show. I can see people being upset about the finale, and I get it. We never get to see Toranaga ride into an inevitable confrontation with Ishido and rise to prominence, but you understand what is to come. And I always enjoy ambiguous endings, and it's a beautiful ending, a peaceful ending, coinciding with our two remaining staple characters' newfound values. Outside of that, it's hard to find much wrong with this series. It deserves all of the praise it gets. I know there are those clamoring for more, but I'm extremely satisfied with what we got, and I think that's enough. It's perfect.